All right, folks. Well, today we have the Kennedys. These are, let's see, this is going to be about 42, 84, 126 coins plus or minus a couple strays I've got. So these all came in that 1,000 coin collection I bought. I'm going to go through them with you right now. And as you can see, I've got things marked already. I've already gone through and done all the variety searching and whatnot, so I'm going to go through the coins one by one and just kind of let you see the quality of what I've got, and then I will pick out at the end I'll show you the top quality and varieties that I found. All right, 1964p Phillies. I mean, they're all essentially the same coin anyway, but I'm just to show you the quality of what I got in these drops, or in this collection that I picked up, I should say. You know, they're not the nicest. This one's pretty nice, but these are basically the way I do it. They might look pretty nice, but as I went through them and I sorted them, I pulled out the ones that looked the nicest. So some of these that you're seeing, if they look pretty nice, you know, they may be nice, but I got some pretty darn nice ones here and there. I don't know if you recall, might have been a month ago now, maybe a little bit more, I went through an original bank wrap roll that I found a lot on. Now this one, I actually like this one a lot. It's got the bullseye toning on the back, but quality wise, wasn't worth it for me to pull it out. The ones I pull out, they're either something rare, maybe not necessarily valuable, but I will pull them aside just so that it's easier for me to find them again someday if I want to do something with them, or if they're worth more than $100. This one looks like it's been cleaned. If they're worth more than $100, I pull them out, and I will probably, not always, I've kind of started backing off of sending in almost everything I find interesting in for grading. Just due to the cost of the grading, and I'm using Anax now. That looks like it might have been clean too. I use Anax primarily now, and just to get, save some money on the grading. I think what I'm hoping for on the most part is to just find one that's better than I expect, but not to say I'm great at the grading, depending on who you are and what you think. You may think I'm a fool for saying that, but I have gotten better. If you look at some of my videos from a year ago, I've definitely gotten better, especially on Morgans. Morgans are my #1 coin. That's usually why I buy these collections, is they have a lot of Morgans, and I love Morgans and just silver in general. So I'll get the Morgans, and then I just usually say, hey, what else you got for silver? And I'll just get the whole stack, because I do need to learn more about other coins, get better at it. But for me, it's just kind of trial and error, an expensive education, you could say. But where was I going with that? Oh yeah, well, I don't use Anax. Well, no, I do use Anax, my #1 coin grading service. But even they end up costing me a lot when I'm submitting hundreds of dollars in grading fees every month. I decided to cut back a little bit and try to just at least put some more time in between my submissions, or at the very least hold off on some of the lower valued ones. Usually I was just like, if it's over $100, I'll send it in. And I've kind of gotten now to where I feel more like probably at least 150 because there's a lot of Morgans out there that are like 110. And yeah, I don't know. I've stopped sending in a lot of coins anyway. 2/3 of the way through, guys. I've often thought about doing something like this as a live feed, but I don't usually have a lot of quiet time. I feel like I would need to have several hours. I actually think it would be fun to buy one of these collections if I had like a full-on day where I could go through these coins with you guys online, like just the full day. Because that's honestly, when you add it all together, this one's pretty nice. When you add it all together, it probably takes me a full day, if not longer, depending on the size of the collection, to go through these coins. But I think it'd be fun to just sit down. Thing is, I don't like showing my face, is part of it too. But I mean, I could just do hand stuff, but I like to, search for the varieties and all that too. Just go through them, sort them, search for varieties. You get that firsthand experience of me getting excited about a coin when or if I find that variety. But I feel like that is going to take a whole lot of time in a day to do, and I have a family that is not gone all the time. Even if I did it for like when they were in school or something. I got a little one who's not in school yet. So next year maybe, once she's in school, maybe that's something I could consider. I also have a wife that does not work a job. She's a housewife and she takes care of everything. Ooh, that last one. Nastily cleaned. Heavily cleaned. But she keeps her eye on the house and takes care of everything. Of course, unless something breaks, then I fix it. But, so she's not gone, is what I'm getting at, usually. Right now, she took the kids out to go play on the weekend, so I am taking my time to make a video for you. Because it's about the only time I get a little bit of quiet. And doing these kinds of videos, it needs to be quiet. As you can see, I tend to ramble on about things, hence the name of the channel. And if I get distracted with something, that's even worse. So, amazingly, I've managed to scrounge up about 10,000 subscribers at this point. Can't believe you guys find this stuff entertaining. Not the coins. Maybe just mute it when you watch. Maybe that would probably make it better. I mean, I do have some nice coins, but imagine having to listen to me go on for about half an hour. A video is what it seems like. Most of my videos are roughly about half an hour. But you can just mute it and put me on 2x speed, get through it a little bit faster. Besides, if I'm on 2x and you want to listen to it, at least it's a little bit squeakier. And talk a little bit like this. Comedy averted. Okay, that's the fourth box, brick, whatever you want to call it. Oh boy. Sometimes I wonder if this is actually a way that I should be going through about it. My thing is, I don't want to make a super short video, but I also don't want to make a really long video. Especially with stuff like this, like I did the 1921s last week. This, as of recording it, I'm assuming this will be the next week. And I guess I'll get the feedback and see how it goes. I don't know if you like seeing every single coin or if I should just show you the top picks that I get out of them. Personally, I like going through every coin myself, not necessarily making a video of it, but as I go through them, I enjoy the hunt. So again, that kind of brings me back to the live part. It's not as exciting as the hunt, but you get an idea of the quality for each coin. And as I'm looking at them here, on the 21s, I said my average grade for the entire, on the 21 Morgans, my average grade for the entire haul that I got, I would say was about a 58 to 60. And I realized in the video, as I was saying it, I just had a whole bunch of nasty coins coming up. But keep in mind, that's just an average. I do have some nice ones here, I gotta say. I'm kind of thinking as I'm doing this what my average grade is for these, and I have had some nasty ones, and I saw several cleaned ones a while back, but I mean, some of these ones here are pretty darn nice. Now they do have nicks on the cheeks, and I see this one's cleaned, I think, or I don't know. I think some of these were in rolls because you got toning on one end and not the other. I don't know how he acquired them, but they're mine now. And I would have to say, so far, unless this last batch is really bad, which I know it's not, I'd probably say my average grade for all these, I mean, some are gonna be 64s, maybe even 65s, but if I had to just average a whole thing out, I'd probably say average grades are about probably 61 to 62. You know, there's a lot that are down there. I don't know, maybe I'd even say 63, because it's hard to say as an average. And I'm not going to go through every single coin and grade it. I kind of do that as I'm searching. And with Kennedys, I mean, if they're not like 66s, 67s, then they're not really worth it. Or if they don't have a variety, even some of the varieties, like the double die obverse is a pretty common variety. When I did that old coin wrap, I found 3 or 4 in that coin wrap alone. In fact, the one that I thought was the best, I didn't even notice it. I was so focused on how nice it was. But after I did the video, I realized that it was actually a double die obverse as well. And as I went through a lot of these, I do have some double die obverses, but I don't think they are the double die obverse that PCGS recognizes, because they weren't as prominent. So if I were to send them to PCGS, they wouldn't end up getting it, and it's not worth it to send it even to Annex and get that minor variety of a grade. So I just kind of threw them back in the pile. I think I had about 3 or 4 of them. But now I will show you what I did find, which is pretty cool. Okay, so here are some of the nicer ones, and this one I think I was a little bit iffy on, but honestly, you gotta look through the toning. It's a pretty nice one. So these ones are the gems. I do have some varieties that I'll show you after this to finish the video off with. But I mean, this one here, looking through the camera, I mean, it's pretty darn clean. I'm not seeing a whole lot of marks on it. So I don't know if I'd want to call it a 66. I'm so skeptical of calling things 66s. Maybe it's a 65, but you know what? It's so clean in the fields, and the cheek and the reverse is so nice too. I will call this one a 66. Here's another nice one. I have quite a few here, maybe 10 or so that we'll go over. And honestly, I gotta say, if I don't know if those are dye polishing marks in front of his face there, or if those are scratches from cleaning. I'll have to double check that. If those are scratches from cleaning, that ruins this one. But so far, I'm looking at, this one might be cleaned actually. I kind of catch these things as I'm doing it with you guys, because I just, when you got a good one, it catches your eye and you just kind of set it aside. I check for varieties, I glance at it quickly, and I set it aside. And then again, with the video camera, it always catches a little bit extra. So I might notice these things as I'm looking through the video camera with you guys, the phone, whatever you want to call it. I'd say all of these last four, if that previous one was not, scratched or cleaned, I think that's like dye polishing marks on this one. You can see how close it comes up to the L. I'd really have to get it under the microscope. But yeah, and behind the head too. These are dye polishing marks. That's why the fields don't look quite as nice. But dye polishing marks will not seriously hurt you. It may affect the overall appearance that they grade it out as, but as far as scratches or anything like that, blemishes, that doesn't get counted against you because it's part of the dye. Yeah, guys, I'd say 66 at least on all these I've shown you so far. Possibly this one looks pretty nice. Now, the thing about this hazing, I don't know if that's like the beginning of toning or a light toning or what, but sometimes I've had it where I'm like, wow, that's a really nice coin, and then I'll restore it. And yes, I can restore it without getting the details grade. Go look at my other videos. And after you get the hazing off of it, it actually looks worse. You start picking up some more of the bag marks and stuff. So sometimes I wonder, like, what hurts more? Being able to see a few bag marks, or, the ugly toning, basically. So they look good to me. And I've heard that said before, that the toning can actually hide some stuff and get you a better grade. But I mean, that's an ugly toning too, so it's gonna affect your overall appearance. But that's a pretty nice one, if you ask me. It looks like there's some stuff behind his neck and his head, but the cheek looks pretty clean. His cheekbone has a little scuff there. The eagle reverse looks super clean. I don't get why the obverse of almost all these coins that I look at is never as nice as the reverse. So here we got a really nice matte finish on this one. I'm not picking up a whole lot of chatter, a little bit next to the arrows. And then the obverse is super nice too. So these ones, I put them in another, sorry. I don't think I'm even gonna start editing that stuff out. So he's got a little wear mark on his cheek right there. But other than that, I mean, I think that's a pretty nice coin right there. So I put these ones in a separate stack, and I'm starting to, now that I just looked at the first one, I think maybe these ones I'm thinking are a little bit higher grade, maybe 67s on here. So here's a 64D. That's probably what it is. These are my top picks. Gotta be a little bit more gentle with these ones. So, pretty nice. There's another D, Denver. Last one of my tops. I gotta have some nice ones in here. I mean, this one is looking really nice. Okay, another Denver. So the Denver is worth a little bit more than the filly. So that's nice to see that the 3, I didn't even catch what the first one was. Was the first one a Denver also? It was. Nice. That almost. I looked through all these already. That shouldn't be anything special on the mint mark. Okay, now I will show you the 2. I got 2 with some more rare varieties. So here we have a 64D, and you probably can't see it here, so I'll get a microscope shot for you. But this is the repunch mint mark. And here we have the RPM repunch mint mark. So that's, I'm not good at finding these, but this is the first one I've seen. In fact, this may be the only one I've ever seen in person, but that's pretty obviously a double punched mint mark. So not too bad. These were both 2 of the more difficult varieties to find in the 1964 Kennedy, but I got them in this group. I wish the coins were a little bit better quality, then I could have made a little bit more money. It's not quite as common as the doubled obverse, but as you can see, the quality is not great. And if I had to do a quick guess on the quality, it's a whole lot of scratches. It might even get a clean. Those don't look like clean to me. That just looks like normal wear though. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Let's just say it's not cleaned. I'd probably give it like a, oh man. Actually, looking at it closer, I think it is cleaned. But whatever. Let's just say, let's go with a 60. And I'll pop the value down at the bottom right for a double or a repunch mint mark, 1964D. And here, I'd say this one is a 1964 filly. I'd say it's about the same quality as the last one, about a MS60. And this one has the double die reverse. You can't see it here, so I'll put up a microscope video for you. All right, so do you see it? The double serifs right there, right there. And if I get in there at the right angle, I'm sure I'd see doubling on the tops of these stars. Double serif there, double serif, double serif, double serif, and a bit of a double serif there. So this is the DDR double die reverse. I believe it's a 801. And that's it for this show, guys. Hope you liked it. These are my 2 top ones, and yeah, I think I did pretty good on this haul overall. And then, you know, I've never, out of everything I've gotten, I've never got either double die reverse or the repunch mint mark. So I'm pretty stoked about having found these 2. Wish they were in better quality like those other ones. Every time I grabbed one of those nice ones, I was like, just come on. Because if you find a double die reverse, and I think a 65 is several $100s. I think it's the same with the mint mark, repunch mint mark, but it is what it is. So I'll be checking these a little bit closer, seeing if they are anything, if they're not cleaned, you know, try to determine that myself. And I may send these ones in just because I don't have these like in my registry or anything yet. So probably send them to Annex and see if they are. And that's a big if, you know, if it's only, if I look at the price and it's like $50 or something, I probably won't, but I may, I don't know. It just depends if I want to get them in my registry or not, or if I should hold out for better quality one. At any rate, appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one.